At this time, I'd like to introduce Armando Vegas from Montana Construction. Armando.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, it is an honor to speak to you about UTCA's newest inductee to the Construction Industry Hall of Fame, Mr. Juan Gutierrez. Juan was born in Camagüey, Cuba in 1948 and migrated to the United States as a child. Juan, when he was 13, he arrived in New York in 1962 as part of the operation of Pedro Pan to live with his granduncle in Whitestone, Queens. In New York, Juan finished grammar school at St. Luke's and went on to attend St. Helena High School, run by the Maris brothers in the Bronx. When his parents and younger brother arrived from Cuba in 1966 in the Freedom Flights, he was reunited with them, and the family moved to Paterson, New Jersey. Juan attended Newark College of Engineering. After 3 years of working for the city of Paterson, 7 years with Cruz Construction Company, in 1978, Juan founded his own civil construction company, performing work in sewer and water line pipelines throughout the state of New Jersey. Over the years, the company has expanded its capabilities and geographic reach and acquired additional construction companies. Today, Juan is a chairman of JAG Companies, Inc., whose entities include Northeast Remsco Construction and Caldwell Marine International, both based in Farmingdale, New Jersey. Hustex Tunneling, based in Florida, and ECI Drilling International, based in Texas. The companies perform a variety of civil construction work, including pipelines, tunnels, directional drills, bridges, highways, treatment plants, rail stations, and specialize in installation of submarine cables. This company presently works through the North American and the Caribbean. Juan has served as past president and executive board member of the Utility Transportation Contractors Association of New Jersey, former regional vice president of the National Utility and Transportation Contractors Association, executive committee member of the General Contractors of New York, and as a member of the MOLS. Juan is also vice chairman of the Cuban American National Foundation. Together, Juan and Marta Gutierrez have raised a family of 4 sons and 1 daughter. The family has grown with the addition of 6 grandchildren. Juan and Marta have hosted many political charitable fundraisers at their homes in Coles Neck, New Jersey, including one for President George Bush in 2008, for Senator Marco Rubio of Florida in 2009 and 2015, and for over 700 guests for the Ronald McDonald Hazer Organization, 25th anniversary in 2011. They're also loyal and generous supporters of Friends of the Salesian Sisters. In addition to supporting Juan's sister, Sister Teresa Gutierrez, Juan and Marta have enabled hundreds of inner city kids to attend the Salesian summer camp over the years. They're also supporters of Monsignor Escalon High School, Bronx, New York, Riverview Hospital in Red Bank, New Jersey, and are supporting members of Memorial Sloan Kettering Society in New York City. They also support numerous charitable organizations for poor children in Dominican Republic. Juan is also a staunch supporter of human rights for Cuba and helps a dissidents group known as the Ladies in White. Please welcome Juan Gutierrez, my dear friend, to the podium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Bob and the entire staff for the great job that they continue to do for our industry, first of all. Secondly, I want to thank the board of directors for their dedication and for selecting me to this prestigious award, the Hall of Fames. I also want to thank the past presidents here tonight for all their contribution to this industry over the years. And last but not least, I want to thank my wife, who's been the rock of our family. Thank you, honey. A few months ago, when Bob notified me of the board's decision to select me to this honor, I began to think how it is that I got here to this podium. And so I'm going to give you a brief chronology of how it was that happened. The story really begins before I was born, when my mother was with child and my father found out, and he prayed to God that it would be a boy. And as you can see, he complied. Then, as I was approaching my teens, my country of birth got embroiled in a communist revolution, and it changed our society 360 degrees. It became unbearable to live there. So I asked God, I said, God, get me out of this hellhole, please. Get me to the land of the free. And he did. And I came to this country in 1962. As I was growing up and I was ready to go to work, I asked, I said, what kind of vocation would make me happy? Where would I be in this world that I could prosper and so forth? And I asked God to enlighten me and get me the right vocation, and he got me into the construction industry. He found that for me, and I thanked him for that, and he was there again. Once in the construction business, it took me some time to learn it, but I did. And after a few years, I yearned to have my own business, which to me was the epitome of freedom. To be able to exercise that in a capital system was all I ever asked for. And as you know, this business that we've chosen, as many other businesses, is like a roller coaster, and many times I found myself on the bottom, and I always asked God to get me out of it, and he did. So in 2007, I received the worst news of my life, when after I came out of a simple hernia operation, the doctor came in and said that they had found cancer. It was not only one, it was two. And one of them was a killer, the other one was chronic, which means you could work with it. So I asked God, I said, God, please spare my life, because I have more things to do. And he did. So at that point, I decided that it was time for me to retire. And I gathered my children, Patty, Johnny, Rolly, Angel, Brian. And I said that, I would be passing this on to them, with Rolly leading the task. Now, those of you that know Rolly know that the family business is in good hands. So before I did that, though, before I retired, before I turned the reins over to them, I called them into my office. And I said, guys, I related the story to them, what I just briefly told you, maybe more details. And I said, God, God and I have worked our butts off to get here. So I have a word of advice for you. Don't screw it up. So I'd like to leave you one last advice. I learned that in life you have to look in 5 different directions. First off, you should look forward to see your goals and where it is that you want to go. Secondly, you should always look back to see where you've been, where your family has brought you to. Thirdly, you should look down to make sure that in your journey you don't step on anybody. Fourth, you should look to your sides to see who's there for you in hard times. And fifth, you should always look up to thank him. Thank you. Good night.